Hi everybody, I'm Angela from Angela's Cooking Up Trouble on Facebook pages, and right now I'm about to make some egg rolls to go with some General Tso's chicken that I made. I've got everything pretty much prepared. I'll be using the store-bought wrappers for the egg rolls. If you want to make them from scratch, there's wonton wrappers on my page, and they're basically the same recipe. They're just a larger size, but you have to make sure you roll them out really thin. They're a lot of trouble. You can find these in your produce department, usually in the grocery store. But I'm just going to use the store-bought, and you basically seal them with a little bit of cornstarch on 3 sides of them. So I'm going to have to stir this up before I use it. I've diluted it with the cold water. Anytime you do cornstarch, you do that. But we'll get on that a little bit later. Basically, you've got 6 cups of cabbage. I went ahead and put this in my food processor because I don't want it really stringy. And it's going to be 1 carrot stick shredded. And I threw that in there too because I didn't want it stringy. And of course I use this is a cake topper, but it's wonderful for mixing large amounts and not getting it everywhere. It's just wonderful. So I always use that. So 6 cups of the cabbage with 1 stick of the carrot shredded. You want to cut your cabbage really thin or shredded, or whatever. I've got 2 tablespoons of onion, and I mixed a little green onion, spring onion in there too. It's not going to matter though. It usually will turn darker color when you go to fry it anyway. But it's 2 tablespoons, and I'm going to put that in there. Then I've got 1 stick of celery, which I'm going to put in there. I'll use this time. And I'll just add that in there. And 1 egg. You fry this up in advance, let it go, you scramble it, let it do flat, and then you dice it up. That's basically all you do. You just dice it up really good, really fine. And then that'll go in there. Try and keep my area clean so you can see a little bit better. Then you've got sprouts that'll go in there. I didn't dice these up. I should have, but I didn't. They're not usually so bad because they're thin, but I'm just going to kind of sprinkle those around so they don't get all knotted up in the same spot. But this is a 1/2 cup right here of sprouts. Just going to use just a little bit of black pepper. Kind of eyeball it. I'll stir that around so it'll be fine. It ain't going to hurt anybody. And then 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, which is basically just a pinch. And that'll be fine. And then you've got 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, which you're going to pour in. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and kind of get this stirred in just a little bit before I add any wet ingredients. Just makes it a little bit better. I want to get those seasonings mixed in, kind of. Nothing gets, kind of saturated. And see, it's always easier to do this in a big bowl where you've got room to play, so to speak. And I want it stirred up. Make sure it's stirred up really good. Then you're going to add your soy sauce. Your soy sauce is 2 tablespoons. Now a lot of people add shrimp to this, and you can. And you don't have to cook shrimp before you put it in this. I'm not a seafood lover, so it won't be shrimp in here. But you can put pork, you can put anything you want. But this is basically going to be vegetable because it's going with already General Tso's chicken, and that's a meat product. But you could always put meat in it, or shrimp and seafood, whatever. Anything you kind of choose. But if you do go with chicken or pork or beef or anything like that, make sure you do cook that a little bit before you put it in, just to make sure. So we got this stirred up really, really good. And basically you're going to see cornstarch right here. That's all that is cornstarch. And it's not a set amount. Because once I get this stirred really good and everything really mixed up good, I'm going to sprinkle the top of it. So it's no certain amount. You just sprinkle it. And you're going to stir it in. But you just want to sprinkle. That's probably good. And then you'll stir this in. Make sure you stir it really good too. After you stir this in, you're going to let this sit for about 10 or 15 minutes with that cornstarch in it. And you want everything to blend too, but basically for the cornstarch and all. So we'll let that sit for just a little while. And then I'll come back, and I've started heating up my oil, and I'll show you how to do the wraps for filling them and wrapping them up. There are several different ways to do it, but I'm going to follow the way on the package, and with the recipe that I use the cornstarch to seal them. Okay, we're just going to let that sit for just about 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll be right back and show you the rest of how we fill them and roll them up and fry them up. If you get a chance, check out our page. If you want to, do anything else to them. This is on my page. It's called Angela's Cooking Up Trouble on Facebook pages. I do a lot of recipes. I do videos. I even put recipes that are other people's on there if they sound interesting. And there's a lot of great recipes in there. And give me a like. I could use some likes. But I love cooking. I'm not a pro or anything, but I do love to cook. But I'll be back right with you in just a moment. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to stuff these and how to roll them up. I've got most of them done, just these 3 left. The recipe makes up about 20, so just in case, it should do all right. Or close. I might have been a little stingy, but basically, these are really thin. So, you just fill them. Doesn't really say how much, but I guess I've been kind of stingy. But I will just have a little bit left, but not a whole lot. It makes 20. So you could cut the recipe in half if you wanted to. I'm gonna stuff them. Get these stuffed. And you do them corner-wise towards you, because you're gonna roll them up. You're gonna kind of make them look like an envelope. And then I've got the Fry Daddy or Grandpappy actually on about $3.75. You can do it at $400 if you want them a little more crispier, which my mother likes them that way. So, but this is my cornstarch mixture, which was 2 tablespoons of water, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch mixed up in cold water. And basically what I'm going to do is just on half of this end, I put a little bit on the spoon, kind of ease it around on the edges. This will help it stick a little bit. And I don't have to go all the way down the very bottom because that's going to be on the inside. I take it, I fold it over, mash it down. I mash these 2 sides down, fold these in, and just roll it up. That one's ready to go. I do these one at a time. I don't try and do, when I do the cornstarch, I don't try and do them because I don't want it to dry and then not want to stick, but stick to the table. I did kind of flour the table just a little bit, or the board just a hair, so because these are so thin. Halfway down, see there's none down here, and then you'll fold that corner up, press down on both the edges, fold that end over, fold this end over, and roll it up. And last one, we can slide this over. Put that cornstarch halfway down that side, across the top. Now on the instructions on the package, it doesn't say to do this. And some might do egg wash. I have not tried egg wash. I found this works perfect. Fold that corner up, press it down, press down each side, take it to the center, folding it over, and roll it up. And then I'm just going to take it over here to the deep fryer. I only do 3 at a time because I have to flip them. And I don't want to cool that air too much. But this is your outcome. So you get plenty of egg rolls. So you can cut this in 2. And you want them a little lighter usually, but my mom likes them crispy, so I do them crispy. But basically this is your egg rolls. You need to flip them. They turn out pretty good, and they're pretty. So that's how you do it. You don't want them quite too brown on the ends. I don't know if an egg wash would make that lighter or not, but like I said, my mother likes them crispy, so it's no big deal to hear. But I might give that a try one time, and try maybe and cook them a little bit less or whatever just to see. But I did this one, and it actually turned out a lot prettier. So I cooked that one a little bit less. But I have to suit the family. If they're going to eat it, they might as well enjoy it. But this is what they turn out for. So I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and I hope it seemed easy to you. The temperature on I do them deep fried, and I just do it in one of those little Fry Daddies or Grandpappys, whatever. And I use tongs with them. And they're hard to flip over sometimes because they want to turn right back over, but I could hold them down for a little bit, and they do just fine. But anyway, about 400 degrees or 375. and just for just 3 or 4 minutes, and they're pretty much done. So that's your egg rolls, and so I hope you'll check out my page at Angela's Cooking Up Trouble on Facebook pages and give me a like. I'm desperate for needs. I only have 12 and I need 18 more just to see how the page is doing. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and I hope you try it, and I hope you really like it. I did forget, I added a little tiny bit of ginger to my cabbage mixture because I had some in extra, and I think that added some flavor to it, you know. So if you got a tiny bit of ginger, add a tiny bit of ginger to it. And also there's a recipe for sweet and sour sauce on my page. You can always get the store-bought. I get that sometimes, or I can make the homemade, but there's a recipe for that also on my page for sweet and sour sauce, or you can just get store-bought. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate you sticking with me and seeing how this comes out. Y'all have a good one, and I'm going to sign out for now. Got another video coming up. It's going to be on wontons. So, got to start working on those. Y'all have a good one.